Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Monique Agbo and I'll upload sewing tutorial and lifestyle content on this channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you all how to make this Caribbean dress. Let's dive into this tutorial together. So to make this gown, you need your fabric, you need your zip, you need elastic for the sleeve, you need your pattern paper. You can see I already went ahead to mark out the basic bodice pattern for both the front and the back pattern. So it's easier for me to draft the pattern for this particular style. So first off, we're starting with the front pattern, and this is the front pattern. It's an off-shoulder gown. So I want my depth to start from 6. My neck depth start from 6. So I'm just going to mark 6 here. And I'm going to roll out the line. At this point, I'm going to mark out my nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2 will give me 4. I'm just going to mark it here, and mark it here too. Know how to draft a basic bodice pattern. I'm going to drop the link in the description box below so you can check it out. This is the neckline, the shoulder slope, the armhole line. This is my bust point and this is my waistline. After marking the dart point, I'm just going to roll out the line like that. So I'm just going to come out by half an inch. From this point, I'll connect it to this point like this. It's called the facial darts. On this armhole line and on my bust point, I'm going to mark out my bust measurement. And the waistline, of course, I'm going to mark out my waist measurement. So the down part of the dress is going to have a Caribbean. It's going to have a Caribbean pleat at the down part. So I'm going to add extra half-inch allowance here for the joining. So on this line, I'm going to mark out my upper bust. So my upper bust is 12. 12 divided by 2 give me 6. So I'm just going to mark out 6 here like this, and I'm adding extra 1.5 inch allowance. I'm adding 1.5 allowance too on this side. The next thing you want to do is to add extra half-inch allowance. So from this point, I will just connect it like this and take it back. This. Our front pattern is ready. So this is what we are using for the front pattern. So this is the back pattern, and I measured out 1.5 inches allowance for this zip allowance. So the same thing we did for the front. So for the back, I want it to be lower than the front, so I'll be making use of 7 inches. And I'm going to mark it out like this. It's just the same process we did for the front pattern. And the next thing you will do is to mark out your nipple to nipple measurement, to mark out your darts. I want to do is to mark out my normal measurement. My upper bust is 12 divided by 2 will give me 6. I'm adding 1.5 inches allowance. For this part, I'm marking out my bust point plus 1.5 inches allowance. I'll do the same thing for this part too. Then I'll mark out my waistline on this point. So remember, we want to add extra half-inch allowance on the upper part and on the sleeve area. I'm going to mark it, connect the lines like this. This is the allowance area, so I'm just going to mark it as like this. This is for my sleeve, and I'm going to add extra half-inch allowance on the sleeve, then connect it to the waistline. So on the waistline, you're going to mark out half-inch like this and return it back here, half-inch. So from this point, I'm going to just slant it to my neck area like this. So this is our front pattern, this is our back pattern. You might decide not to put that on yours. Let alone for me, I don't want to put that. You can mark out your dart on the pattern paper and you might not even put it on the fabric. So I am not using that for mine. And if you want to close it too, you can close it like this, put it on, use the paper tape or a gum and close it. Next thing to do is to cut out this pattern. So this is what the front pattern looks like and this is what the back pattern looks like. The only difference is the zip allowance. So the next thing I want to do is to cut it on my fabric. So after cutting it out, this is what it looks like. This is the front piece and this is the back piece, as you can see. And this is the back piece. So I made it to cut facing for it. This is the facing for the front piece. By the time we open it, it will be like this. Then for the facing for the back piece, we have two pieces because the back has two pieces. So now we're going to proceed to start sewing it. This is the front piece, as you can see, and this is the facing. So you're going to fold it this way. Take your hemming gum like this and sew on it. After doing that, you would now place it on the neckline like this. You take your hemming gum again and stitch on it, and you do the same thing for the back piece too. So this is what I meant when I said you should fold it and sew the hemming gum on it. This is what it looks like. You can see for the other facing and this. Next thing you are going to do is to put it like this, right side facing right side. So when you want to stitch it, you're also going to sew it with the hemming gum. So by the time we iron it, it's going to lay flat on the fabric and it's going to be firm and neat. So you just take it like this, take half-inch, stitch it with the hemming gum. Then you do the same thing for the back piece too. So this is what it looks like after I've stitched it with the hemming gum. So by the time I flip it over and iron it, it's going to be firm and very neat. I'm going to measure whatever you have on your bust. For me, my bust is 20 and I have extra 2, 3, 4. I have extra 4 inches allowance. And for the waist area too, my waist is 18 and I have extra 3 inches allowance. So that means at both sides I'll be taking 2 inches on the bust area and I'll be taking 1.5 at the waist area. So after doing that, then we'll proceed to the down part of the gown. This is what it looks like. So the next thing we're going to do is to fix the down part. So the full length of my dress is 40 inches with the allowance. So remember that the length of my top is 16 inches. So that will be my full length minus the 16 inches. That will give me 24. So this 24, I'm going to divide it into 2. 24 divided by 2, that will give me 12. So that means the gown has 2 layers. That means the first layer is going to be 12 and the second layer too is going to be 12. So for the first layer, it's going to be your waist. My waist is 36. So it's going to be 36 times 2 or times 2.5. Anyone that works by you if you have extra fabric. So this is what we're working with now. 36 multiplied by 2. just make sure that the length is 12 inches and you had extra allowance for the joining. So that will be 36 times 2 plus your 1.5 for your zip allowance. So this is what it looks like after I've cut it, and it wasn't enough, so I went ahead to like join it. So what I'm going to do now is to gather it. I'm going to gather it so it can fit my waist size. My waist is 36, so by the time I gather it has to be 26. In order for you to get the gathers effect, your stitch regulator on your machine, you have to put it on 7 if you are using a manual machine. If your machine cannot do gathers, you use needle and thread. For someone like me now, my machine cannot do gathers. The stitch is very tight, so it can't even do gathers at all. So I have to use hand needle to do the gathers. So guys, after gathering it, this is what it looks like, and I'm going to attach it to this part, to the upper part, like this. But before we do that, we would have another gathers at the down part. So for you to get that, I'm going to measure what I have here. Not at this upper part though, for the joining, like the lower part. You're going to measure it, and I have 91. So that means that the down part I'm multiplying by 4. When I want to gather it, I have to have 91 so it can fit into this side. Remember that the length we used is 12, but for this one I'll make it 13. So I went ahead to hem the down part of this, of the skirt, before I pleat it, before I run the gathers. And I was supposed to do the same for this other side, but my material wasn't enough. So in order to like, I don't want it to be too short, so I just have to just plait it like this. You can do it either ways. You can either fold it, then now do the gathers, or you can just run the gathers like this. So now this is the first one that we did. All I have to do is to start. I have to pin it and make sure it is well aligned. Then after doing that, I'm going to sew it. So as you can see, I've already stitched it together. I've joined it, and this is what it looks like. So this is how to achieve it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach this on the upper part of the dress, and this is the upper part. So this is it. So I'm just going to take half an inch and stitch it round. So as you can see, I've already attached it to the upper part. So what I'm going to do is to fold it, flip it to this side like this. Then I'll take 1.5 inch and stop around here. Then from this side, I'm going to fix my zip. So guys, after fixing the zip, this is what it looks like. And I went ahead to fix the sleeve. But I already fixed it off camera because there was no light and I had to wear it to church. So I already fixed it, and it's a puffy sleeve. If you don't know how to fix a puffy sleeve, I have 2 videos on my channel where I explain how to cut and sew a puffy sleeve. So I'm going to drop the link in the description box below so you can check it out and watch it. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Told me never see where you lay at. I don't want righteousness. I heard too much, I lost too much, I lost too much. I hit my clutch and boom, third day pop out the tomb.